everybody, and welcome to another Tuesday morning outdoor adventure marketing webinar, talking about all things digital marketing for your outdoor adventure company. Today we are going to be talking about how to advertise on YouTube for less than $50 per month. It can be a very expensive channel, as can a lot of digital marketing channels, and so we're going to talk to you about how to keep your budget low, under $50 a month, in the YouTube platform. We are Outdoor Adventure Marketing, and this will be about a 20-minute webinar with some questions at the end, so stay tuned. All right, my name is Adam Arkfeld. I started Outdoor Adventure Marketing in 2009. We are a digital agency. We're located in Tempe, Arizona, and we have 12 full-time in-house staff. We focus on driving prospects to your event or tour business with our proven method for tour-related lead generation. I have a technical background. I'm a digital marketer, and I'm also a cold brew enthusiast. That's coffee cold brew, not beer cold brew, although I'll do either one. But I'm also a husband and father. There's a picture of my daughter. And today we're going to be talking again about YouTube advertising and how that fits in your marketing plan without completely blowing and destroying your budget. So let's get right into it. When it comes to digital marketing, there are a lot of different options, and it can get really expensive. This screenshot on the right is a screenshot of some of our accounts just year-to-date as of 2017. And as you can see, some people spend a lot of money on digital marketing, $96,000, $45,000. You can spend a ton. And in some cases, that money might be going to people that aren't even really interested in the services that you're offering. So the idea is the audience that you're targeting, do they actually have any intent to buy from you? Or are you just really doing a more generic kind of spray and pray approach? So today we're going to talk about how we can really target our marketing dollars on YouTube so that you don't need to spend thousands of dollars every single month to get your advertising in front of a few people on the YouTube advertising platform. And we're going to talk about that targeting, how it works so it's not so expensive for you, and you can beat the Google behemoth on their own terms and still get a good return on investment for your money. So the idea that we're talking about today is being smarter about your ad spend. You want to avoid the spray and pray strategies, which is where you're putting ads out there to audiences that may or may not actually be interested in what you're selling. So in many cases, people are very interested in metrics like impressions, number of clicks, cost per click, things like that. And while those metrics are important, they are more or less vanity metrics. They don't really tell you the entire story about how your marketing is working and if you're even targeting the right people. So with outdoor adventure marketing, we used hyper-focused audience targeting to make sure that messages are getting to the exact audience interested in your services. In the screenshot below, this is just an example of really hyper-targeted marketing that we run, which is a remarketing campaign. It's targeting all visitors to a website, has 2,200 impressions with 300 views, and a view rate of 17%, which is quite good, and an average cost per view of just 8 cents. The total cost for this campaign for this time period is just $31, yet every single person that saw those ads actually visited your website and is interested in your services. So it's not a small campaign running to a small group of people that may or may not be interested. It's a small campaign running to a small group of people that are definitely interested in what you have to offer. YouTube is Google's second massive ad behemoth. They are the second largest search engine in the world. They're expected to grow 21% every year through the year 2020, and their ad revenue is estimated to be $25 billion in 2017. The number of visitors and consumers and people on this platform is absolutely incredible, and it just keeps increasing every single year. It's no secret that video is becoming one of the main mediums and channels for delivering content and information, and YouTube is just a testament to that and is continuing to get more and more sophisticated with its marketing, retargeting, and integration with AdWords. And we're going to talk today about how you can use that to your advantage with your marketing campaigns so you don't have to show your video to a bunch of people that aren't actually interested in outdoor adventures. So again, this entire idea of targeting is really targeting smarter, not harder, and showing ads to people that are really truly interested in your tours. You don't want to show ads to just anyone in your local area. If you run a skydiving company, and let's say you're in Eloy, Arizona, which is a very popular skydiving destination in Arizona, you don't necessarily want to run ads to the locals that run ads to the locals just because they happen to be nearby and may or may not want to go skydiving. Those are actually people that probably already know you. They already know that Eloy is a very popular skydiving destination. They already know that they can go skydiving anytime. They probably know the companies to go to. What you want to do is you want to target people that are interested in skydiving at a very specific moment in time that actually have the potential to go to Eloy and skydive there. And those people are those that have already started researching within that market and your service and have already started expressing interest in that activity. And so when it comes to retargeting and how you're showing your ads to people, if you're showing your ads to people already expressing interest, then you know there's a very high probability that those people might actually buy from you and not necessarily just showing ads to people in the area or in Tucson or in Phoenix, which are definitely far outside of Eloy, and the markets are just way too big, and it's really that shotgun spray and pray approach. So with YouTube, we're going to target people that have just visited your website or have just interacted with you, and the way that you do that is you show ads before videos that they're watching on the YouTube channel. So before I get into that, I'm going to talk just for a second a little bit more about how the concept of retargeting works. When someone visits your website or sees an ad or interacts with your brand, there are a lot of different tracking methods to basically capture that consumer as an audience and then show them ads in the future. Now, the first step in this entire process is the awareness, the brand awareness step. When those people are looking for your services, you need to be there. So that might be within Google AdWords, organic Google search, anywhere that they might be looking at an online directory. They may be coming through a third-party service or a booking engine, something like that. But the idea is that they're going to get to your website, they're going to see your brand, and they may or may not be ready to book right away. However, when they visit your website or click your ad or whatever the case may be, those websites will install tracking cookies on the consumer's device or computer so that when they go and they do other things within their day, like going to Facebook or going to YouTube or going anywhere else, they will then see that ad and be reminded that you are targeting them within the platform and be reminded of your services so that they can then book from you. So the idea is that people are already looking for your services. You are then tagging those people as an audience, and then you can follow those same people around the Internet as they go to the New York Times, to YouTube, to Facebook, to Instagram, whatever the case may be. You're continually reminding them that you're there, and if they want to book, they should book now, and they click the link. So it really reinforces your brand. It keeps you top of mind. We know that throughout the buying cycle, especially for an activity like an outdoor adventure activity when someone's going on vacation, they might do a little research, get distracted, come back and do more research, get distracted, and then come back and buy either closer to their trip or just when they're actually ready to make the decision. So with retargeting, you're staying in front of them during that entire buy cycle so that when they actually are ready to pull the trigger, you're there, and ideally they'll be purchasing from you. When it relates to YouTube specifically, there are a number of different places that ads can appear. So someone visits your website, then they get a funny cat video from someone in the office, and they click that link, they go to YouTube, and before funny cat video starts, your ad as a skydiving company in Eloy, Arizona shows up before the cat video. You're probably very familiar with the skip ad button right here. So the video shows up, they can skip the ad after 5 or 6 seconds and then view the video. However, they do have to watch the ad for a short period of time. They're reminded, reinforced, there's more brand recognition there, and then they move on throughout their day. In many cases, people are seeing these ads retargeted to them. They're skipping them a lot, but they're also watching them. They'll maybe be watching a little bit longer. And in the bottom left, which we'll look at in a minute, there's actually calls to action where they can click and go back to your website and potentially book or call. So when you're talking about YouTube, you have these pre-roll ads, which show right here. They have the skip ad button. You have companion banners, which are up here in the upper right-hand corner, which are just another location for paid ads to appear. This ad format that we're looking at in the middle is the in-stream ad. You can also do video discovery ads, which is YouTube search. So if someone's searching for ATV, skydiving, information just about skydiving, so skydiving safety, for example, then your ad can actually show up because it's been retargeted to those people. Or you can do a bumper 6-second video ad, which is a must-watch 6-second video ad, which is very short, but statistically it's been deemed that people can get a message across in 6 seconds, and that's about the amount of time that they'll watch an ad. So these are non-skippable, but they're very short. Another option with your YouTube ad format. As I was mentioning on the last slide, when someone sees your ad, and in this case this is an ad for an ATV company, there's a gentleman here on the side, the ad comes up, and in the bottom left-hand corner, consumers can get back to your landing page. So not only are they seeing the ad from a brand recognition perspective, but they have the ability to go to the landing page or to the website and continue booking or learning more. So this piece here is really important because if someone's just seeing your video and there's not a call to action in the bottom left-hand corner, then while it does reinforce the brand marketing, it's not the best method for actually getting people back and booking with you because they don't really have any other option to get back to your website. With the YouTube pre-roll ads, there's not other links. It does kind of show your channel, but that's about it, and they would really have to explore. So you'll want to make sure if you do run these pre-roll ads or any other type of ads on YouTube, you add these calls to action, which are done in the AdWords interface, that allows someone to get back to the landing page and book the services, and they have an easy path to conversion. If you don't have this, then they don't have an easy path to conversion, and it's more of a brand awareness campaign like you might see for Coca-Cola or something, which is not exactly what you're trying to accomplish. As far as engagement goes, when visitors have already checked out your website and they're interested in the type of services that you have to offer, they are much more highly engaged than someone that is not. So if you run video pre-roll ads and your targeting is not a retargeting audience and it's just a general audience of outdoor enthusiasts in the Eloy market, you're really not targeting people that are actually interested in the skydiving. Some may or may not be, but the majority of those people might like hiking, mountain biking, whitewater rafting, whatever the case may be. They probably like a lot of other things in addition to skydiving. So with retargeting, the engagement is very high. And while these numbers may not seem very high to some, 13% getting through 25% of a video, 8% getting to 50%, these are fairly high numbers from an engagement perspective on a commercial pre-roll ad. And then you have this section over here, which is earned views, which means that those are basically free views that have been earned through the engagement of your video, where people are discovering that pre-roll video in a different way, and it's kind of like earning more activity than what you're actually paying for. So when you're retargeting folks, they are very highly engaged, and they're very interested in what you have to offer, and they're more likely to actually watch your ad as a commercial than if you would just target them cold, and they may or may not be interested in the services you're actually offering. So the entire concept of this webinar today is talking about spending a little money on YouTube and getting big results. And you can easily spend less than $50 per month. This screenshot shows just over $30 by targeting this retargeting audience and not going for the generic cold audience that a lot of digital marketers and people running marketing on YouTube or AdWords or Facebook tend to do. The retargeting approach is extremely important, especially in outdoor venture marketing, because people that are looking for outdoor adventures have very strong intent to buy for very short windows of time. So they express that intent by doing research, viewing your website, doing Google searches. But once they've started that path to conversion, you need to stay in front of them as an adventure company so that your brand recognition is strong, and when they actually do buy, they remember you and will potentially buy from you through one of these retargeting ads. By running this approach rather than the more generic approach, you're going to keep your costs very, very low, and $50 on YouTube is more or less a drop in the bucket. And if that generates even 1 or 2 bookings per month, the ROI on that is quite massive, and it's not the most time-consuming campaign to set up. the odds are most of you probably already have videos. You just need to get them on YouTube, get them attached to an AdWords account, and then set up a retargeting campaign. One of the little-known features in AdWords is limiting the number of views per week that someone might see your ad, and this is called the frequency of your ad. And it's particularly important when it comes to retargeting campaigns. If you don't limit how many times someone is seeing your ad every single week or per day or per campaign, they will just get completely bombarded by your ads. And everyone has an experience and memory of just seeing an ad constantly every single day and every website they go to that, quite frankly, ends up just irritating them. While they may be interested in the service, the constant presence of those ads everywhere can just get really annoying. So limit the frequency of your retargeting ads and don't harass your prospects. If they're going to see your ad 4 times per week and they're not going to buy from you, then they're quite honestly probably just not going to buy from you. Showing the ad 7, 10, 15 times per week is not going to change anything in their buying strategy. So a good rule of thumb that we use is we do 4 views per week for the entire campaign, which says that they're only going to see ads from your company 4 times per week and no more. You can experiment with dialing that up a little bit or dialing it back, but in all reality, showing an ad 10 times per week or changing up the different ad sets probably won't have a major impact on the performance, but it will have a major impact on the way people perceive you and their idea of your company and the marketing strategies you employ, because that is actually a very important subconscious feeling that people have if they feel like they're being harassed on the marketing channels. So good rule of thumb, 4 views per week and limit it at that. I'd probably just leave it there unless you want to get fancy and start experimenting. There are 2 other areas that we like to point out when it comes to the YouTube retargeting campaigns. The first one is UTM codes and URLs. Tracking AdWords conversions, or excuse me, YouTube conversions in the AdWords platform can be a little bit difficult. You can't add UTM codes to the URLs in YouTube, so you need to make sure that your AdWords and YouTube accounts are linked, and most likely your website is Google Analytics. So if someone comes through and they either come through AdWords or they just come through YouTube and they click on your link and then convert on your website, that will then be associated as a conversion in your AdWords account, which is very important just so that you know if your YouTube ads are working and converting at all beyond just the activity metrics. And the second area that we really like to, that's really important for you as a marketer is knowing what type of content exclusions are relevant for your business. And most likely, you're going to want to be very restrictive on the content exclusions. YouTube got into a lot of trouble earlier this year with ads being shown next to questionable content, and advertisers started pulling ad dollars. And so now YouTube has been adding a lot more content management exclusions to their marketing to make sure that your ads are not showing up next to content that is not relevant or at least not controversial, and it helps protect your brand. So both these content exclusions are in the settings area of your AdWords campaign management. So the big picture is if you use retargeting with your YouTube ads to advertise to a targeted customer base, you're going to be able to run a YouTube retargeting campaign for $50 or less per month on YouTube. The cost per view is incredibly low. We see 8 cents on a regular basis, but we see much lower than that on a regular basis as well. Sometimes we see down as low as 3 or 4 cents, and that's just virtually nothing when it comes to the strength of the brand awareness and the people that you're targeting in the YouTube channel because they've already engaged with you. So use retargeting, set it up on your website, create an AdWords account, run some ads on YouTube, and you'll be marketing to the right audience in absolutely no time. All right, next week we are going to be talking about how to create a conversion optimized landing page in less than 30 minutes. Landing pages can be a big pain to create, and not only that, a lot of them are really crappy. They don't actually convert traffic. So we're going to talk about how to create a conversion optimized page in a very short amount of time. And just as a reminder, we are Outdoor Adventure Marketing. We specialize in lead generation for outdoor adventure companies. We do snowmobiling companies, ziplining, skydiving, ATVs, just basically anything outdoor adventure related in the tourism industry. So feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. And now I'm going to take just a few questions that we received, and if you have any others, please feel free to submit. Okay, first question. What is the ideal length for a video? Videos can be anywhere between probably a best practice is no more than maybe a minute and a half or a minute. When it comes to YouTube, they're only going to see the first 5 or 6 seconds. So in reality, you need to get your message and kind of your call to action across in about 5 seconds. But if you hook someone and they're already engaged from a retargeting perspective, they may end up watching up to the minute, the video up to a minute in length. But as we saw in engagement metrics, a lot of people, 13% were watching only 25% of the video that we had, and then 4% watched the entire video. So focus most heavily on the first 5 or 6 seconds of the video to make sure that your message is getting across. And then from there, keep it under a minute and a half or a minute, just because, as we all know, attention spans are short on the YouTube platform. Another question is, what kind of videos work best? Tour videos, about the company videos. This one is really based on what you want your differentiator to be. Tour videos are really good. It gets people kind of emotionally excited about the tours that you are going to be running and that they're going to be experiencing in a couple months or weeks when they go on their vacations. So those are obviously very good. But the about videos are really nice because they show a lot of times behind the scenes and interesting information about the company if they're having difficulty making a decision. So the authenticity of the about videos is really strong if you can throw those in the mix with your tour videos. If they're seeing 4 impressions per week and they're active on YouTube and you have a few different videos running, I would definitely mix it up. If you could only choose one, I would probably choose, if you have a good about video, I'd probably choose the about the company video because it'll show what your company is really about. But if your about video is not very good, I would definitely lean towards the tour video. All right. Well, that's all the questions we have for today. Thank you for joining us. And as always, don't forget to check us out next week. We are Outdoor Venture Marketing. And next week, we're going to be talking about how to build landing pages in 30 minutes or less. Thanks a lot.